So I'm going to go over a few images from my Medal of Honor art project book that I put together. If you want a signed copy of this book, um, you can contact me through my website, www.susanmeeling.com, and I will give you instructions on how that can occur. That being said, I'm going to go over certain aspects of it. I'm going to first state, so the dedication, in reference to the sales and use by the public, only with my permission are the images allowed to be used in writing. Thank you to the United States of America who made it possible for the Constitutional Bill of Rights. That includes, of course, all of the branches and divisions of the United States of America's armed forces, as well as the varying branches and divisions thereof throughout each state. All who support those who defend our constitutional rights in the United States of America, I truly appreciate everything. Thank you to my son for being so smart, and thank you for my daughter for being so beautiful. Thank you both for inspiring me to be better and as best as I can possibly be. The modeling images were partially a part of, but didn't make it in. So, but the aspects of my Medal of Honor art project. You can go to my website, that's my website, and you can send me a message through there. Quick little note. I have never had an agent represent me for modeling, nor acting, nor performing. And I have never allowed anyone to film me while I was doing my Medal of Honor art project. Though in 2015 or 2016, I began being a part of a show, as I was told was going to be called Guardian Assholes, but I was never given a check, and the male named Joey was not my agent for any representation purposes. I also never gave anyone permission to use the material within the pages of my books, registered through the Library of Congress, of my life experiences, and what I was told about ever, as far as, or what I talked about, I should clarify, ever for their profits, law enforcement agencies decide for prosecutorial purposes against others. Though Joey said the name of the show was changed on Amazon.com streaming service, an updated contract was never given to me to sign, and I did not get to see the show until October 2018. Also, I had never had an agent nor manager for any of the books nor performances, nor pictures to model, and I have never been paid for any of the work I had done in such manners. I only have been paid for being medically retired from the United States of America's armed forces, as well as a legal widow of my dead ex-husband. Though one book on Amazon had been purchased, I had already donated money over the years to various nonprofit organizations well before that one singular check had ever been mailed to me, while also donating all of my Medal of Honor art pieces to charitable means and not for resale. I had already been ordained as a reverend for the Universalist Unitarian Church since 2003 or 2004. My ex-boyfriend did not allow me to retrieve the last two paintings, which I was going to try to put into a gallery later, because I found out the state of Texas is opening a Medal of Honor museum, and I'm supposed to pick that up later on this year. That includes the two Medal of Honor recipient artwork pieces, which were supposed to be able to be delivered, but he did not do that to my apartment. My mistake for not understanding or knowing nor comprehending how things are in this modern era, especially after my Palm Sunday 2000 head injury and effects thereof. However, I also guesstimate after having landed at the bottom of the ocean to surface afterwards safely probably had an additional aspect of that lack of comprehension in regard to my own intellect. Of course, the time I have chosen to utilize one forgotten skill, multiple, after the head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000 during my active duty service, long before not having graduated fully to become a soldier after the head injury and basic training. I have always had an inner quirk to respect honorable actions. The duty to this country completed by the wondrous men and one female Medal of Honor recipient are all inspiring, and throughout the various branches. It is my hope to work through the rest of the 50 states to complete as many recipient memorials as possible. Below are the pictures from, when putting on a computer, it's below. The pictures from the completed projects. The Medal of Honor recipient art pieces are available only to the two groups or types of individuals. The first group of individuals who are able to receive their family members' encasing of the Medal of Honor artwork after providing proof of relations to them are actual blood relations. I've sent out emails asking for the caretakers of the burial location. Asking for the caretakers for each of the burial locations to inform the family of the availability for a piece of their family history for some, mainly in reference to Frank Charles High because of the issues, but not to speak with the family members, but later I did ask in reference to handwritten letters to see if they wanted a formal presentation of their pieces. Should the Medal of Honor recipient not have any living family members, such as with the Washington Soldier Home memorials, or the family did not want the artwork, I have donated the works to the era specific of veteran museums and memorials, as well as the American Legion, the Disabled American Veterans, and the Veterans of Foreign War, different locations. The Medal of Honor recipients are individuals I will create art pieces for without charging the families or the memorial associations. Within the artwork of each piece contains a citation which earned each Medal of Honor recipients without the change to words in order to preserve history, for if we cannot learn from the past, we are destined to repeat history in a different fashion. More importantly, it can show throughout the governmental aspects and descriptions how far we have come as an American society while keeping in mind the imperfections of the past to continue to learn from. The Medal of Honor recipients are the original inspiration for my artwork, and because of their admirable service to the United States of America, as I believe, the service males and females already paid the ultimate price for this country. The honor and valor within the recipients should not be forgotten, for they are a large inspiration for greatness. We, as a society, need to remember to use prudence and wisdom in conjunction with temperance and moderation, while courage allows justice to prevail. May the valor of your ancestors be respected and honored as they watched. Brightest of blessings for all to the highest good. A special thanks to the people who run homeofheroes.com, as well as the Medal of Honor Society for the United States of America.com for the information, as well as findagrave.org and several Google searches I have done to try to get the information about everything I could that was made available. I follow the following Medal of Honor artwork pages by stage, as I tried as best as I could. The completed works being of the rubbings beginning in, August of 2014, and the encasement within the glass began the processes with the McClendon's company in January. Okay, I had written this correctly. There are painting pieces as well as included. Pictures of the paintings that I had done, but on my website they are organized by state. So for other aspects of what had occurred, you can refer to my book, The Modern Day Book by Reverend Susan MeeLing, for further answers and references for clarifications. Brightest of blessings to you and yours, respectfully and sincerely, Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle, Reverend MeeLing. I have a few nicknames. So, these are beginning pieces, and this is a picture of 2 Medal of Honor recipients who were in the same cemetery. That's why they're painted the same way, but they had gone, according to what I found online, they had gone to basic training together, and they had gone overseas together and earned their Medal of Honor together. And they're buried in the same Washington Soldier Home Cemetery. So here is a picture of the back. Because of not having a religious symbol, as you can see on the rubbings that I completed, as well as the painting aspect, I had chosen a quote that went from one to the other, as you see, one side to the other. And so the first one says, it's a quote from then President Ronald Reagan, not when they were at war, but in a overall time frame. We must reject the idea every time a law is broken, society is to blame rather than the lawbreaker. It is time to restore the America that each individual is accountable for their actions. And so this is a picture of John Nibby's marker, which I had met Mike Hershey, a former Navy individual, and we spent the day together. Now, even though his marker, meaning John Nibby, his was done differently, I chose to do so because of the religious piece right there. So I thought that it would be a bit more striking from one side to the other to complete that as such. Now these are pre-encasings. I do have pictures of them being encased. So this is Matthew Bickford's side. And as you can see, in the spiral aspect, that is the Our Father prayer written in a spiral over and over again. It starts at the center and it works its way outward. And with every one of them, as you have noticed, or maybe have noticed, has a copy of the commendation that I found online, printed out, with a Medal of Honor recipient medal marker for such. And so in reference to Matthew Bickford, I did actually contact a car dealership in Washington State, not realizing, honestly, that it's a common last name, possibly. I just thought that maybe that was the family of. And so I did send that email. But I didn't get a response back. So Esmer Sheehan, that's the front part of, his marker out in, where is it? I always get the name wrong. It's not Clay Ellum. It's going toward, it's where you can see the Satsop power plant in view. That's where this marker is from. And when I was there, ironically, I did paint it yellow. There was a yellow chain that was in the area where the little grove of trees are directly behind the cemetery. And it was an extremely weird situation. There was a female in the cemetery, and didn't speak with her, just one of those, okay, like, obviously you're seeing somebody, but I'm not here to speak with you. So after she wound up leaving, as I was looking for Edward Sheehan's marker, I had not seen a directory when I first walked in, or drove in and walked out of my car. But along the back portion of the cemetery, where you can see the satsop plants in the mountains with like all those lights that are on that, Probably to keep planes safe at night. Whatchamacallit, and that female, whoever she was, kind of around my height, heavier set, stocky build, shorter hair, kind of brunette-ish blonde. Didn't look at her face at all. I had walked back and forth before actually finding the directory, and as I saw the yellow chain and I kind of looked over, there was a sound from what sounded like somebody stepping on a branch. I was like, so I'm gonna not look. There was a metal shed back there with like a spindle, and I was like, yeah, so nope. Whatever you're doing is whatever you're doing. That has nothing to do with me, because you are, well, you're working on whatever you're working on, and I'm gonna go on my merry little way. That little yellow chain was enough for me to be like, don't go there. Okay. That little crack of a branch. Oh, okay. I know who's guarding that shed back there. None of my business. No, I don't own that property. Not my. Nope. I'm gonna skedaddle. And I found the directory and got the rubbing, and I was out of there. But I will say that my stomach really hurt really, really badly at that particular cemetery. But that's an issue just that I deal with. So on the back is, because there is the cross for the aspect of being respectful to his spirituality. When he passed, the spiral of the Our Father prayer. And so, yeah, I found that marker and I was gone. It was like, nope. Whatever you're doing is whatever you're doing, and I don't want to make you upset, so I'm going to go do my stuff. So this is the next marker that I completed. That's Bush, and I didn't realize how common the last name of Bush is, but apparently he is not related to former President George W. Bush. But when I was at that marker, I thought I smelled gun oil and gunpowder, and I heard a phew, and I was like, oh, I know I'm out in like BFE, so I'm not a bird. I'm not a red-headed woodpecker, don't mind me. So, but yeah, so I went to the other side, and I thought that it would be nice to do a rubbing of the Virgin Mary for a contrast, and that while still being respectful to the spirituality. And so I had dropped this one off specifically back at that cemetery for Bush. I had put it on the shed, ironically. So then the next Medal of Honor recipient, Ranny, or Myron Ranny, I did not notice at the time that he did not have the Medal of Honor marker at that time, which essentially taught me that I need to make sure that the markers have the Medal of Honor recipient. And so Plato's quote is put on the back because of not having the spiritual symbol, and it's only the dead know and see the end of war. And so that's that particular marker I had gotten near Bremerton. I don't remember where in specific. So I'm going to end this video before I get into the next ones. I already feel my blood boiling. So you guys have a good one. Subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching this video. Like and share it. Have a good one.